And we are back. The Real Housewives of Potomac season 8, episode 1 has aired. And if you are been following the podcast for a long time, then you know it's only right that I welcome back my Kagian sister, my good girlfriend, the mother of Ashna and Harry, J'tia Hart Taylor. Welcome back to the podcast.
Hello, I'm so excited to be here. Thank you.
It is we got a lot to talk, but I also feel like this is the first time that we have potted in a very long time. So I just want to check in. How are you?
Oh my goodness, so many changes. So many changes. I don't even think last time I had a major health issue. So I have been battling breast cancer, so hence the new do. I'm done with my chemo. I am in remission. Yay to that. I think that's the first time I've actually said that.
Yes.
Wow, yes. Because it still doesn't feel real to me. I still have radiation to do so and another surgery. So if you see the girls sitting up high, that's because they're actually not my girls. They're replacements. So I'm a cyborg. I got, replacement body parts and such.
So I think you going through this health crisis and the way that you've been so vulnerable and open on your social media and talking about it, I think is so inspiring. And I'm just so enamored by your presence of being just such a strong person. And nothing seems to phase you. Cancer thought that they was going to try to get you, and
No.
you said not today.
Not today cancer. That's right.
Okay.
So I mean, my big thing was when I started looking around for stuff, I couldn't really find anybody who was talking about it. And all the pictures, of mastectomy scars and that sort of thing were a lot of people who didn't look like me. So and then it was just some weird stuff happening that was too good not to share. Clearly, I'm an oversharer. And so I just started blogging about it and I put a lot of posts up on my Instagram, mostly at J'tia PhD. I actually even show like when I had my surgery, how they marked me up. I got tissue expanders in. I got a video of them being filled, which was super weird. So, I mean, I'm just here sharing the journey to, sharing my embarrassment for all.
I don't think it's embarrassment. I think it's real life. And I think it's really important. And I think it's important to normalize that, right? Because there's so many people that go through this alone and feel like, they don't see anyone that looks like them that are going through it, or they don't understand the struggle. And I think that you sharing that really is so important and so strong, and reminding people, make sure that you are getting your breast checked.
Yes. And not like breast checked by your boyfriend. Like, I mean, that's good too. Keep up, with boyfriend or girlfriend helping you out and stuff like that. But actually go get, your mammogram, especially if you have a history of cancer in your family. So that's one thing I didn't know. I had a grandmother who had breast cancer, and I thought they meant like an immediate family member. But no, and especially Black women, because usually we get diagnosed younger and with a more aggressive form. So that's my soapbox. Go and get them checked, even if the doctor say, "Oh, you don't really need it. Just go and get it. Go get it."
Right. And I think just to expand a little bit more, we live in America and allegedly our healthcare is so great, right? But sometimes you have to advocate for yourself, right? And I think just being such a close friend for you in this process and knowing everything, it's like, if you didn't speak up, if you didn't follow up, if you didn't do all the things that you did that you shouldn't have to do because you have insurance, you've got a good doctor, like, it is really just so disheartening, specifically like with Black women, right? Like, it's like you can speak up and then they want to ignore you. So if it wasn't because of
Absolutely.
you.
Absolutely. So that was my case. I actually didn't get diagnosed till I had stage 3 breast cancer. So it's only 4 stages and I had stage 3. So I didn't have like the cute cancer. I, was just thinking, oh, I'm young. It couldn't happen to me. And then I finally, was like, no, I can't ignore these symptoms. And I have realized, just like you said, you really have to advocate for yourself. Once you're in the system and they know there's a problem, usually they're typically pretty good, but you do have to keep up with follow-ups and appointments, because ain't nobody gonna call you and be like, doctor's not gonna call your house and be like, hey, I saw you 3 months ago. So do it yourself, ladies. Be a strong woman for yourself as well.
Yes. So again, I'm just so happy to have you here and just so blessed to
I
have.
am So happy to be here. And I am so happy to jump in and talk about what's happening on my favorite Real Housewives franchise, Real Housewives of Potomac.
Yes, yes, yes. And we are jumping right into episode 8. I mean, episode 1,
Season.
season 8 of Potomac. And I mean, yeah, they delivered. I feel like this is going to be a great season. I feel like when we covered season 7, it left off and Bravo was a little mad at Giselle and Robin for them putting up their paywall about talking about Juan. And Bravo said in this episode, "Oh, we're going
Readdress.
to make sure that this footage is used."
Right. Right. So Bravo was like, no, we're leaving no crumbs. We're coming back to yum, 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 little snack on this, because we got to give the viewers what they want. So I'll tell you that the season preview looked amazing, right? I'm all here for the season preview, but the episode was a little dry because they just spent so much time on that one issue. Like they were like, no, we're gonna squeeze this orange. So yeah, I the clips, like I said, I thought were amazing.
I
The
agree.
episode left.
I mean, I feel like the episode, in my opinion, delivered right. I feel like there is no running from this, Robin. Like, you need to address it. And we are clearly talking about Juan Dixon and the alleged hotel with him just being a good
Look, now
person.
you let me know when we ready to get into it. Because if you want to talk about other things first, are we gonna go in order? Because I'm ready to jump straight to the combo.
I mean, we could go whatever way you want. I just figure we could address the elephant in the room, which was the Juan and Robin and how that kind of just takes the whole episode. But what you want to do? You tell me,
You
Dr.
know
Hart.
what? Let's start with the little sprinkle that they gave us the first combo. We have our two different groups.
Okay.
Basically, this episode was like this group, that group, and then Mia in the middle. Which was kind of Mia in the middle. Where she at in the middle? So I just thought that was very interesting. So let's start small with Mia and Gordon. How about that?
Well, I mean, it's very interesting. We know from last season, and we dropped it here first because the tabloids and the Instagrams be talking. Gordon was locked out of his family business. They had to leave the big house. They now are in a small apartment, and they're
From 11,000 square feet to 1,500 square feet. And I was like, ooh, that's a jump.
that
That's a
That's a
jump.
huge jump. And we see Mia talking to Gordon about how he was depressed. He was laying on the couch. And we see little glimpses where Gordon is like, yeah, you were yelling at me. You was doing this and all of this stuff. And I mean, I don't know if your ears are to the street, but
I thought it was
word,
divorced. That's
well,
what I
word
was
on the
hearing.
curve, they are separated. So we haven't seen it on the show yet, but they are separated. And baby Gordon is trying to earn his Potomac Peach because he's been doing interviews. He's been on Instagram Live talking about, if Mia wanted to be with somebody else, he would allow it. He feels like he got with her for the
Now,
money.
when
And
he says somebody else, does he mean like a man or a woman?
I
That's
think he
also what I
means a
want to.
man.
Oh, okay. Because you remember
And
that was a big thing with
well,
them. Okay, all right. No, we're gonna focus on this. So yeah, so it's and they have kids. So the downsizing is real. Because I'm sure they can't, hide from their kids now in their big house, which is what I like to do in my house, is hide from my kids. Right now it seems like they're together. This came up in the reunion when everybody
mhm.
was trying to get like a mini MBA while they was on the couch, like, okay, CEO and but I want to say that since it's a family business, I know this has got to hurt. Like, I don't know, I feel like even more. It's like one thing when you have a business, issue, but it's like not only does he have a business issue, but he also has a family issue. So I feel bad in that sense of the word, but also like he was the CEO, she was the marketing director. Usually businesses don't like kick out their CEO for no reason, even though that is something that happens. CEOs get fired. So that's what happened when you go into business with family. You mad because you fired. Now you want to be mad at your family, but it's just business.
And we see that like on the reunion, Mia was standing behind Gordon, and like Giselle was asking, like it seemed like embezzlement. They were questioning the spending of the funds, and then when we see Mia and Gordon, we reveal that Gordon tells us that Mia was like, "Well, did you do anything? Well, what did you do? What did you do?" And so
What
Gordon
did you
keeps
do?
saying
What did
that
you do?
he was audited. He says that he has proved that he hasn't done anything, but I mean, I don't know.
mean, this is the thing about business. You don't have to have done anything like necessarily illegal to get, booted as the CEO. That's up to, your board of directors or the management of the corporation. So, like, I just want him to make sure that like he's good with his family. So I don't know. I wish him healing and peace and some more thousands of square feet. That's what I got to say about that. Because
Well, I
baby,
mean,
I'm gonna tell you right now, 4 people in 1,500 square feet is not nice.
I don't think
It's
it's
not.
4 people no more. I think it's one person in 1,500 square feet. I think Gordon is in there by himself.
Well,
Um,
that's okay. But why Mia? What's up with Mia? Housewife checks. She better start
well, I mean,
upping the
yeah.
drama, honey.
But I mean, according to Gordon, Mia has a new whale that she is dating. So we will I doubt we'll see it on this season, but I'm gonna keep my ears to the TikTok and the Instagram, and I'll report everything that I know here. So
So
that's go ahead.
I do want to say that there was one little tiny clip that I do recall when they were like, "Oh, you married so and so for money," and they were like, "Well, maybe you married Gordon for money." She's like, "Maybe I
Yeah, I
did." I was
did.
like, "Love the truth."
But here's the thing though. Ain't nothing wrong with that, right? Like some people marry for love, some people marry for security, some people marry for money. And if I had to choose,
I mean, I would have loved the person with money, but like I don't
I
think
could
that's
get to
a.
love you. I could get
I
to
think
love you.
look, love can grow, but just like your bank account. But I'm just saying, that's not something that's insignificant or even messed up to say. I mean, I wouldn't have felt the same way about my husband, if he was in debt and because I'd be like, you ain't managing something right. Not that it makes you a bad person, but it's something you need to work on. You know
Right.
how I feel about good credit and debt, and
Well, I do know that. And that's the one thing I do appreciate about Mia. I feel like she is transparent with a lot of her stuff. Right? She be confused.
you can't deliver a message.
She can't deliver a message, but I do feel like she is like
You
she's
put it all
present
out there.
and she puts it out there. And so I feel like, yeah, it's like they can't control your narrative if you're putting it out there. Okay,
Right.
so that's all right. We got Mia done. What else we got next? What you
So
got?
then we had the conversation with your girl, Drive Back.
Who?
Nim. Drive Back,
Oh,
Candace.
okay.
Yeah, I
With
remember you loved it. Oh gosh, yes. So
yes.
this was cute. It's not horrible. I'll give her that. I like the billowing. I like the on the ground. She's a cute girl. Her hair is always right. Her makeup is always right. Everything is cute about her except her attitude.
Yeah, I love to hate Candace, right? I be loving Candace, and then I be hating her, but then I love her, but then I hate her. So which scene is this with Candace, Karen, and Wendy? Okay,
Yeah,
so now that we're at this scene, you people love to come at yes, I am a green eye bandit. I do stand for my Giselle and Robin. So if this is your first time listening, I'm just putting it out there. Now I call a thing a
I am
thing.
not Team Green Eye Bandit. Just to put it out there, just so if this is your first time listening.
So, that's where I stand, but I do love all the ladies. But J'tia and the rest of the world always loves to come for Giselle and her fashions. I am curious to know, what did you think of the napkin that Wendy wore to this establishment or this lunch?
You know what? I don't even remember it. So it must have been so ugly that it was like immediately ejected from my brain.
Well, first of all, they meeting for lunch. I'm just confused as to why she has on like an evening gown. But listen, Wendy has come a long way. So I don't love Wendy, but I can appreciate her at times. And so I do love her glow up. Now, with this lunch with Karen, Wendy, and Candace, they really kind of sort of a lot of things, not a lot, but a lot. Candace talks about why
Herself.
she is so upset with Robin and the wine situation. And for me, I just feel like it's a stretch, right? Because Candace feels like all last season they was dragging Chris Bassett, and she feels like Robin perpetuated it with other people, although Robin came to her support and
Robin
she
defended her.
right.
She filmed with her and Chris. First of all, I think the only person who perpetuated that whole thing was Candace. Like, shut up and stop bringing it up if you care that much. But that was her whole storyline last season, so she couldn't let it go. She was talking about it more than anybody. She blew it up, making it more than it was. Giselle said what she said. He made me feel uncomfortable. Look, she got a right to say that. Then Candace goes out into left field talking about you accused him of assault and blah blah and damaging his reputation. I was like, no, that's what you doing. You don't. I mean, she just need to leave well enough alone. Like it was simple misunderstanding. You got one side, he got one side, but she has amped herself and her husband because I don't think he cared that much. Like he was willing to be like, I ain't mean to put you in that position. And she just amped his head up and made him look like an asshole.
What were your thoughts that she felt like the only reason Robin was standing up and defending her was to again deflect from her situation?
Oh, I think Robin definitely was deflecting. I don't think it's the only reason. I think Robin, has her own mind and doesn't always go along with Giselle. But also, Candace, you can hate on Robin because she know how to shut up. Like, I don't understand why you would bring that up yourself. That's very silly. What's her name? The Grand Dame alluded to it, a couple times. I know stuff about wine, in the drawing with the lady from Canada who looked like her. So she did bring this up, and what Robin knows how to do that Candace does not? Shut the fuck up. So that's what Robin did. When that stuff came up, she was like, whatever, and let it keep riding. And it never became a good storyline because she didn't give it energy. So I think Candace is stretching. She's trying to recycle that old storyline again,
Well, and
because she has nothing else to talk about. She spent hundreds of thousands of dollars to go on tour.
Okay, now wait, let's talk about that real quick because I am currently on tour myself, the Brice and Win Tour 44, and we do have a couple of stops coming up. We'll be in New Orleans December 5th, and we'll be in Philadelphia the day before Christmas, and we are heading to LA.
Before Thanksgiving, you're in Philly.
Yeah, that's what I said. Before Thanksgiving, we'll be in Philadelphia, and we are headed to LA for the finale. Tickets are available. Click the link in my Instagram or the Brice and Win Present bio. Now, here's the thing. I've been on tour a couple of times. J'tia is my financial advisor. And J'tia and I really do have talks about, well, J'tia be getting on me because, she
it goes both ways. It started out as a one-side conversation, but I am very invested in financial freedom, especially for Black people. And sometimes we're not taught those things by our parents. They don't talk about money with you, that sort of thing. And so I really believe in talking about this with my friends because that's who put you on, right?
Right.
Somebody put me on. I put Brice on. We going to financial heaven together. We buying houses, putting our stuff together. We debt free up in this thing.
Yes. So and again, so J'tia and I talk about this type of stuff. So I just am curious if I were to say to you, Wendell and I are going on tour, but we have to spend.
I would get on a plane. I would spend money to get on a plane and go to Philadelphia to snatch you. I tell your mother to snatch you as well.
Now, I understand what Candace is saying, but I also feel like, because I do believe you have to invest in yourself, right? You have to, but I also feel like
but you can't be throwing money out the window. And you know who money she throwing out? That's Dot money. That's Dot money. Dot don't deserve that.
But now I see why we didn't really see much of that leg tour on drive back tour. But I do love Candace and I do support her music. But I just thought that was like a little weird. Like, okay, you have this label, and again,
what's the label doing for you?
And most artists make money on the road with ticket sales and merchandise. So I'm just kind of confused. But I digress. But
we need to ask her manager. Maybe Chris need to jump back on it.
I don't know if Chris is the manager. I think he might have resigned from that position. But I do want to say the TikTok and the Instagram streets are talking.
About what?
There is a woman alleging a relationship with Chris. She does have receipts and photos
of his brown penis.
Of the brown penis. And it is interesting to see how this will all bubble up. And it's interesting to see if Candace will bring this to the light, or is she?
Yes, because she should share everything, right? You have to share everything because you're on a reality show. So I think she just mad because Robin knows how, like I said, Robin knows how to shut up and keep her business, because I'm sure she has a lot more, as we see, than Candace has going on. Yet she is either being masterful about slow playing it, because it's been a thing over 3 seasons. She's looking lovely in that picture. I actually really like that on her. She looks amazing.
Yeah.
Is that a bandeau or is it a dress? Either way, I like it.
It looks like
Anyway,
it's a two-piece.
yeah.
But so now let's get to Robin. Now,
Oh wait, let me just
okay.
mention the bootleg picnic in the park. It was
Ah,
bootleg. That's all I have to bring that up. And it
and
was
did he fall?
nice.
Did he fall trying to get up? Like I was so confused that like was he trying to act like he was old or was he really having like issues?
So you know what? That is the one thing that resonated with me, because now, like, have been tired from chemo and stuff, and that's how I'm like, oh, that's how I get up. So I was like, I feel you, dog. Feel you totally. You got to get all fours and then put one knee up.
Uh,
I get it. So I
okay.
don't think he was faking. And if he failed, that's probably because that man working hard, as a part-time manager and managing a restaurant and managing Candace's bad, stinky attitude. So that's a lot on his shoulders.
I mean, it is. But again, I do love Candace. I do call her out. I call her to the carpet when I need to, but I do enjoy
See?
having Candace on this season. Now, let's get to Robin. First of all, okay, Robin, we see the new house. We okay. It's giving. Wait, what's the name of her hats?
I forgot.
I forgot, but okay, it's giving okay hat money, okay, shady, reasonably shady podcast coins, okay, Bravo coins. We see you.
Yeah, house is nice. They're out of the townhouse, and I think they're still in Maryland, but closer,
Yeah, the house
right?
looks nice. Yeah. We there's so much that gets addressed here. So I kind of want to start on the back end. So Juan
So
also
embellished. That's the name of the hat. I had to Google it. Sorry.
embellished, yes. Embellished. So we know that Juan was laid off. And it's interesting the narrative that he or tries to spin that he wasn't winning basketball games and like this is the nature of the business. He was the head coach at Coppin State University. My brother went to Coppin State, so I've been to Coppin State before. I mean, my brother did like just a year.
Where is it?
However,
Is it in Delaware? Where
it's
is
in
it?
Baltimore.
Okay.
So, uh Juan conveniently leaves out this lawsuit that was going on that we touched upon last season talking about this, where I believe one of the players was getting catfished by one of the other coaches on the team and was like soliciting illicit photos from him and then forced him to have a threesome with another teammate. It got real sticky, but essentially
Oh, I did not know that. Thank you for sharing.
yes. And essentially, they're saying they went to Juan about it as to other people in the university, and they didn't do anything. And
Got
again, we heard it, but then as the whole Juan situation last season started to snowball, that story got bigger. So honestly, it's giving
It could
that's
be either or. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's the Me Too era here. So, they don't put up with that. I believe if you work in education, I don't know if it's for colleges, but there is a level of responsibility of reporting.
mandated reporters. Absolutely.
So, and I don't know if he was one or whatever. I don't know what happened with the other situation. So it could be either or, but I'm sure the lawsuit did not help. The lawsuit didn't
Right.
help. It was not a check in the plus category, the should we keep them category. But it's very common also for people to get fired because it ain't win games, please. So it could go either way. That's not the concern though, because there's other stuff that
I
gonna keep it.
mean,
But that's just like a back of the mind, and it doesn't look good because it's already being questioned about that. And then it's
then
questions at home. Like it's questions in the past, it's questions in the present, it's questions in the future. So to recap the past, they were divorced
he was a professional
because
NBA
he was
player.
cheating. Right. So because he was cheating and he was so that's the history of that. And let's be honest, the best predictor of future behavior is past behavior. So that's one in his corner because he has already cheated on Miss Robin Dixon. She let him go. She kicked him to the curb. Then they got back together. It sounded like things were on the straight and narrow. I remember he was looking so good when he proposed to her. I think he had on leopard slippers, I
Oh, okay. Well,
believe.
we
So
would
I
have to
remember that
ask
because I
Mike.
was like,
Well, we would
Michael
have to ask Michael Darby what he was wearing because Michael would
Michael
know.
remembers, okay, because he was like, Michael was like, why not me? Why isn't it
Michael
me?
was mad when
Always
he.
the bridesmaid. Look, he was like, when is it my turn for why?
Mhm.
Anyway, so it seemed like things were going really well. And then we just saw that they were dragging their feet on setting a date. And I think this is when all of this came out. And that's why she was dragging her feet. Because remember, they were supposed to have this wedding, international destination wedding, and doing all these things. And then it was like, when y'all getting married, when y'all getting married, when y'all getting married. I think it's because these reservations were coming up. Not that I know, but usually if everything is good, you get to planning. Like
Okay,
me,
that's
for
what Karen
example,
was
I met my
saying.
husband and boom, we was married. Like, was not planned, trying to lock it down. There was no dragging of the feet. So, dragging of the feet created smoke where smoke is fire. So that's my personal opinion.
And then it's like you're dealing with that privately from allegedly what we can believe, and then it's like you have this pressure, you're on the show, and then you have Karen on your behind, and it's like then they ultimately went in a
Just
low.
have this pop-up wedding, right?
Right.
I mean, the wedding was beautiful. There was nothing wrong with a pop-up wedding if that's what you're
If
doing.
that's what you
He
want,
was
right.
beautiful. So it's not about the wedding. It's what's the underpinnings of the relationship. But then they got married. It was kind of, fast and furious. And clearly she was, had worked things out. They were at a place. And then all these other allegations come crashing out. So we got three things, right? We got the hotel receipt,
Mhm.
we got the laundromat, and then we got the nail salon.
Mhm.
So those are the three just in this episode that I counted. So I think we talked about the hotel receipt.
We talked about the
Um,
hotel receipt, but again, now we get an explanation from Juan. Him and Robin both agree that his relationship with via Instagram with the young lady was
the Canadian.
inappropriate. Yes,
Shout out to
although
the toe because she was probably, the hoe from the toe.
Robin said on Watch What Happens Live that she didn't need to see the receipts that Juan or the conversations because she believed Juan. Then she magically comes to DC, and Juan said that she was going to see a NBA player,
Ravens.
a Ravens player, and her
Mm-hmm.
credit card could not work. And Juan decided to be a good Samaritan and go check her in. He wanted the points. He was trying to get status at Marriott. So, you
Stop it.
know,
Stop it. So that is funny because you are a point whore. So I mean,
Mhm.
if it was you, that would make sense because you go on point runs. But I think in this case, that was definitely a bad decision. And again, dude, it's because of your past. Like, you can't, like, one, you was in contact with her via Instagram, which is bad enough given your past. Two, so you a cheater and now you DMing. Two, why are you paying for her hotel bill?
And
No, not with your, not with your.
three, if it's so up in the uppity up of the ups of the ups of the uppity ups, why doesn't Robin know about it?
That's the other thing. Like, if he was really trying not to cause anything, he would have told his wife off jump, "Hey, it's this hoe from the toe. I'm trying to be nice." And I'd have been like, I'm gonna bring my wife with her as a shield. You know what I'm saying? But he waits until she hear it through the streets, which makes it look even worse. And
Yeah,
you already a cheater, and you
it's
already been DMing chicks. So, like, how many strikes? Then,
yeah.
and the other two things I actually don't think are a thing, but because of the past and the reputation that you have, they become a thing. So he's at the laundromat, right, with Coach Bree, who clearly is a beautiful and gorgeous woman because
Looks
he
like
says it.
Robin.
Right, right, but he says it a couple of times. Beautiful and
Right.
gorgeous. He specifically mentions that the girl from the Canadian woman was not cute. Even though, like, when has that ever
What
mattered?
does that matter?
No,
Okay. Okay.
ugly girls need love too. You know.
Girls need love too. Okay, but yeah.
Okay, so and I don't think there was anything wrong with him washing jerseys. I mean, he the head coach. He shouldn't be washing jerseys, let's be honest. And it looks bad. But I can see you going and hanging out with another coach or whatever. It's a little shady, but the thing is, you shouldn't have done that because of the reputation you already have and the distrust you have already sold with your wife. So that's another tick on it. And then the nail salon. And again, he could have told his wife before.
Well,
it
he
hit
says
the
that he
street.
did. He says that they do say in the episode that he did, and Robin is aware of this this relationship, even though they don't work together anymore.
Okay, so that's another thing. Well, maybe
And
hopefully they worked together when they was washing the jerseys.
I think they might have worked together then. But see, my issue is that even while they're sitting telling us this, right? Robin, or maybe Robin says this at the intervention that Giselle had for her. Robin was like, what am I supposed to do? Tell him not to go? Like, I told him it doesn't look bad. And he said, I'm not worrying about that. So, okay, so he doesn't respect you or
Right?
care
Yeah, you should have told him
about.
not to go. That's exactly what you should do. You should have been like, you know what? I know it's stupid. I know it's, just people talking, but they're talking to me. And so to make me feel comfortable, how about you not do that? How
And,
about you not
and
do that? How about you care about my feelings for once instead of you protecting your relationship with a woman you're not married to? Let
okay.
her go. Like, it's your wife
And
before anybody.
at this point, I am the sole provider of this household. Mm, okay. Okay. So we'll continue this conversation because I do want to know your thoughts on this. Giselle calling Ashley, and shout out to my girl Sharice. I don't know how people
Shasha
feel
brought
about.
it this episode. I'm not gonna lie. Shasha brought it.
I love me some Shasha. I hate the fact that Karen doesn't like her, and I ultimately feel like that's why Shasha does not have her peach back. I really do feel like Karen might be like, if she come back, I'm out. And if that's the case, then Shasha stay as a friend. But I just love Shasha. So
I still
they
don't think Shasha want to give what needs to be given to be a whole whatever they hold in Potomac. Cherry blossom.
I mean,
I
I
don't think
think.
she like her business out there like that.
Well, I mean,
I think she does great as a friend. Like, I usually am not a Shasha fan, but Shasha is bringing me around. Like, because I love that the people that got together to talk to Robin were all people who have had
mm,
marital issues.
mhm.
So I can see it in their faces. It's like they are actually giving their story, not really for the camera or for the show, because I think all of them are more honest than they've ever been, especially Shasha. And they are all feeling for their friend. Like,
Do
they don't
you
want to see
think?
another woman in pain and go through what they went through.
Do you think? This intervention by Giselle was genuine.
I do. I think
Okay.
I think all three of these women, because like Ashley, remember, Ashley and Robin have gotten into it majorly. Ashley has, tried to already, come for their relationship and it didn't go well. She mentions that. So the fact to me that there was no screaming really in this, except by, Robin got a little heated, but there was no screaming. They were really trying to check on my friend. And I'm sure they said more things off camera, but like all of them shared, like, we have been there. We have ridden for men just to find out we shouldn't have been riding for them at all. They did the flashback to Ashley, giving the story about him in the casino. And I was
Mm.
like, girl, goodbye.
Then he just
That
got so
sounds
drunk and but it is crazy
ooh,
because it's like I remember that season and I remember when Ashley was telling that story and we're looking at Ashley like, girl, you are delusional. And just like Robin in this situation, we are looking at her like, girl, you are delusional. But here's my thing, right? Like, what do you do when you have that friend that's in that relationship, but she's committed to being in that relationship, right? Like, so it's like I feel like you as a friend, like Giselle, Shasha, and not Candace, and Ashley, like they did like tell their truth, but at the same time, it's like you as a friend, you got to keep it real with your friend, but you also as a friend have to like step back, right? Because it don't make sense
I
to me,
agree,
right? But like it just doesn't make sense. However, this is a
but it's
part of the
not my
reason why,
relationship.
right? And not my relationship at all. This is part of the reason why I love Robin, right? Because I feel like I don't know what her household is like. I don't know what it's like inside. However, I can appreciate the front for the sake of her marriage that I feel like you have to do uh in this situation. Like, cause I don't know if she's one foot out, but like they got kids, and so it's like she still puts that best foot forward. Even though we looking at her crazy, I kind of can respect that about Robin. Like, you know what? This my husband. We talked about it. I know I look crazy right now, but we're a union. We're an institution. And
I
I
mean, so that's basically what she said. I mean, I think everybody agrees that she looks crazy. She mentioned a couple of times, yeah, that's a crazy story you told me, so it had to be real. Faulty logic. But, all she can do is say, I hear you guys, and I have decided to stick by my man. And all they can do is say, okay, but we are going to continue to bring this up. And we are happy with whatever. If it was my friend, I have, had friends in sticky situations. I tell them, friends who have been going through a divorce or thinking about a divorce, and I will give them my honest opinion and say, but I will ride with whatever you want to do. Like if you want to divorce them, girl, I'm gonna come. We'll pack up your stuff. We'll be out of there. If you want to stay with them, cool. Like that's but you have to make up your mind. But I will tell them like what I think about A, B, C, and D. But it's your decision to make. It's your life. The whole point is Robin does not seem happy with her decision. She seemed miserable.
I mean, I think she's miserable. People keep bringing it up, and I also feel like Bravo is like, because the rumors were that like Robin was on the chopping block last season, and so I also feel like Bravo is being petty with her and with this situation because again they feel some type of way about how Robin handled all these allegations last time. So I feel
I
like
I agree, but all of that, baby, that's your life. Okay.
mm,
However it is packaged, that is your life. So if you're not happy with it, you need to change some things. Bottom line is you need to be happy. So it's either change your job or change your husband.
well, I mean, right. And again, so they always say like they or whatever arrangement they have, right? I love Robin. I'm team Robin. However, it's like it makes me think back to maybe episode season 3 or season 4 with the hot mic with Juan when he was caught like leaving the house on mic saying that like how he's not happy, there isn't love, and like and so then when you see him getting pedicures with a coach. Like we ain't never seen Juan and Robin do all of that stuff on the camera. So it's like I don't know what the state of the relationship is. I can say Juan is a very attractive man now. Okay.
But Robin is a
No, Robin's
very
gorgeous too,
lady.
but I'm
Did you see
I'm
her
just
coming
saying.
down those steps on them heels? I was like, okay, I see you with the short mini dress. I mean, so she
So
was looking cute, and she can get another person. I think both of them can get another person, and I think at a certain point in time they have to like. I know you're there for the kids, and the kids are very important, but you are
but you can't
also they see what's going on, like they see that, and I hope they can work it out and be happy, but
well
they ain't. Okay, that's what it looked
and
like.
and you can be sure that this season they are going to drag Rob like the Grand Dame, Candace, Wendy. Like this isn't going anywhere anytime soon. Like I guarantee you, this will be Robin's whole storyline this season. So we can touch a lot more about it as we continue to cover the season. Now we need to talk about my girl. Giselle. Okay. I really feel like this
That's
potentially
cute
has the trajectory of being Giselle's best season yet. I feel like
already. Yes,
people always come for her fashion, they come for her house, and they come for her lack of a husband. And this season in episode 1 alone, I feel like Giselle's fashion has been improved. I feel like her her home, although they had to walk down some shady little something, but the majority of her home is coming together. It looks
look,
beautiful.
it's her home is bigger than 1,500 square feet,
Uh,
so she's not losing.
and she ain't paying rent. She's paying a mortgage.
Yes,
Uh and Giselle is sharing an actual love interest that she is interested in. I don't think that it is a relationship of long term, but I think it is a situational ship. And I enjoy the fact that she is sharing it with us.
I think I love the relationship. I think he's cute. Who cares if it's a situationship? Look, she's happy as long as she seems joyful. She's doing a little dance, even though she can't dance. She's sharing with her daughters. It seems like her daughters are very loving and accepting of him. It's like the joy radiates off the screen, and that's not usually something that happens in a scene with Giselle. You know, it's usually her being snarky or shady. I mean, she could turn up medium, but this was like a breath of fresh air. She's talking about, you know, her cooking, her daughter is enjoying it. I loved everything about it.
So I'm excited to see what Giselle has in store for us. We are seeing a different side of her. I do wonder though, like I definitely know that she is whatever she's doing with that guy from below deck or whatever. I believe it's
Winter
real.
House.
Winter House, yeah. But again, I makes me wonder like is Giselle watching the internet streets and seeing what the people are saying and really trying to like, open up and come brand new? But I always loved Giselle, so I don't really have much. I mean, I feel like this is the Giselle I've always seen. So I'm glad that it is received well. There is a new housewife. We haven't met her yet. Her name is Neka. We didn't see much of Dr. Wendy this episode.
I'm fine with
And
it.
I'm listen, I'm fine with that as well. We also see Ashley in her new home. It looks beautiful. She does reveal that her and did she say that they were divorced or still going through the no,
They're
they're
still going
still
through the divorce, but his name is on the mortgage on the house.
and
So
she said that he's only been upstairs a couple of times. People were worried that he would just, be roaming around because we know that Giselle's situational ship, that's how she met him through
yes,
Ashley's situationship, but they no longer together, and we know it was this big thing with her ex or her husband. He ain't really want him in the house and all of this weird stuff. But Ashley says that that really hasn't been an issue, and she says she ain't looking to take his name off the mortgage anytime soon. What does that tell you, J'tia?
again, so this goes back to financial freedom. She ain't got it. So she does, and she has already said that she's not going to get alimony because of the prenup, but she does get child support. But he clearly is giving her something. She said that he gave her some money for the down payment. It's a I think it was $2.2 million house. So even if it's only 10%, that's $220,000. That's a lot of money. But I'm glad her house is beautiful. I'm glad she's out of the dark, cramped penthouse, whatever apartment, condo. The boys look good. They, growing up, helping each other up on the counter.
Mhm.
Mm. Also want to talk about Ashley's other additions, the twins.
Oh yes.
Yes. So I saw it in a clip, but yes, she's had some work done. I noticed when she was like going down to the meeting, she was like real ginger with her boobs. And as somebody who has
Mhm.
had breast surgery, not too recently, I know that walk that, oh, my boobies are sore on the sidewalk because I just got them, operated on. They look big. I get it. She's had 2 kids, and look, bravo to you. I can't wait to see them when they drop a little.
Yeah.
But she
I
looks
mean,
gorgeous as usual.
she looks good. I tend to like single Ashley. So we will see what we get. And that's really it. We didn't really get to see much of the Grand Dame. We saw the Grand Dame with Candace and Wendy, but that was really just to kind of sort of stir the pot about Robin. But I mean, I know this season will be very interested. I'm so excited to be tuning in. But I can't wait. And so J'tia and I are going to try to cover every week. We are
Yes.
going to be dropping you Potomac gems. So I'm excited to be back with my girl J'tia. Anything you got going on? I want to let the people know before we wrap this episode.
No, again, I just want to, if you are a guy, make sure you take care of your colon health, colorectal, especially for African American men. So don't be scared. Go and get it checked. Women, please take care of yourself. I am so excited to be here, and I can't wait until Bryce and Wynn come to Chicago so I
Mm.
can hang out. Like, I'm always up for a good Bryce and Wynn party.
Yes. So it's definitely given the spring season. So, but I'll be in Chicago sooner than that. But thank you so much to Tia for coming and recapping this with me and us, the posse. And we will be back next week, cover episode 2. We'll see you later. We're going to
Don't miss us.
slither.
Bye, y'all. Bye.
We're going to slither on out here.